Hello, YouTubers, and welcome to Level-Headed News. This is your host, Brenda. I have 4 articles in this episode for you, and the URLs are in the description of the video for your convenience if you want to do any research on them. We have audio, we'll get moving here. The first one that I have here is off of freebeacon.com, and it says, Feds pay $1 billion in Social Security benefits to, now get this, individuals without a Social Security number. Errors occurred because the agency did not keep paper applications supporting an individual's case to receive benefits. The Social Security Administration paid $1 billion in benefits to individuals who did not have a Social Security number, according to a new audit. I can't make this stuff up. The agency's Inspector General found errors in the government's documentation for representative payees, otherwise known as individuals who receive retirement or disability payments on behalf of another person who is incapable of managing the benefits themselves. The audit released Friday of cases where there was no Social Security number on file. How does this happen? Over the last decade, the agency paid $1 billion to 22,426 representative payees who did not have a Social Security number, and SAA had not followed its policy to retain the paper application. Unless it takes corrective action, we estimate SSA will pay about $182.5 million in benefits annually to representative payees who do not have a Social Security number or paper application supporting their selection, the Inspector General said. The Inspector General also found the agency paid $853.1 million since 2004 to individuals who had been terminated as representative payees by the agency. The Inspector General said the errors occurred because the agency did not keep paper applications supporting an individual's case to receive benefits on behalf of another and did not update its system was terminated. Only 6% of representative payees had Social Security numbers that were properly recorded based on the audit's sample of 100 beneficiaries. Government benefits are also going to illegal aliens through the representative payee system. 17% of representative payees in the sample did not have a Social Security number recorded for undocumented non-citizens, the Inspector General said. And without Social Security numbers are allowed to receive benefits from the government when acting as representatives for their minor children. In response to the audit, the SSA said it switched to a new electronic representative payee system last year, and transferring representative payee information may have resulted in applications showing as terminated or not selected. The government defended the issuance of benefits to non-citizens and persons without a Social Security number. Payees play a single role in many beneficiaries' lives, the SSA said. Approximately 5.7 million representative payees managing annual benefits for approximately 8 million beneficiaries. When appointing representative payees, we adhere to guidance in the Act. Specific to the audit, the Act permits us to appoint in certain circumstances an undocumented alien or applicant who resides outside the United States without a Social Security number to serve as a payee, the agency said. Specifically, the Act states we should verify a person's Social Security number or employee identification number in our investigation of the applicant. However, the Act does not state that the applicant must have a Social Security number to serve as a payee. A Social Security number is not a criteria preventing an individual from servicing as a payee, the agency added. I'd like to know why not and why that hasn't been fixed, and somebody needs to be held accountable. I mean, they're telling the senior citizens that Social Security benefits will end as of 2034 at the rate things are going, but they're handing out Social Security money to people with no Social Security number like it's candy canes at Christmas time. What the hell? I don't know about you, but I'm appalled. There's off a BizPack review, and it says, it's a no. Francis Le Pen stuns the left, refuses to wear headscarf with Muslim leader ahead of election. French president candidate Marine Le Pen raised eyebrows on the left when she refused to bow to Islamic rules. Le Pen, leader of France's right-wing National Front movement and presidential front-runner, was visiting Lebanon to court French Lebanese voters when she went to see the Lebanon's Grand Mufti as scheduled, but balked when she was told she was going to have to wear a headscarf. On video, shaking her head no when one of the aides offered her a scarf before she walked away. Try this again. I met the Grand Mufti of Al-Azhar, Le Pen told reporters. The highest Sunni authority didn't have this requirement, but it doesn't matter. If you can pass on my respects to the Grand Mufti, cover myself up, she said. A spokesperson for the Grand Mufti said Le Pen was informed of the headscarf requirements prior to the meeting, CNN reported. I personally greeted her at the door of the Edict House and wanted to hand her a white headscarf that was in my hand. She refused to take it, the Mufti press secretary Khaldoon Awas told CNN. I urged her to put it on. She refused and said she would not put it on and walked out without attending the previously agreed upon meeting with the Mufti. Regrets such inappropriate behavior at such meetings, he added. Shortly after the incident, Florian Philippot, the vice president of Le Pen's Front National Party, tweeted, in Lebanon, to wear the veil, a beautiful message of freedom and emancipation sent to women in France and the world. But many on social media praised Le Pen for taking a stand, but didn't that American feminists were among them. And there's some tweets here. One says, slavery to Islam isn't an option for Le Pen. Applause across the world. Another one, I'm just picking these at random. Amazing. This is what bravery looks like, not putting on pussy hat and screeching. Another one says, good for her. Stand up to Islam doesn't need to force its ways on others. And another one says, with one action, she ensured her election as president. Next article is off of Conservative Tribune. And I'm waiting for the hamster. U.S. naval warships dispatched to South China Sea for patrols. I want to pull this one up and take a look at the warship that they've sent to the South China Sea. It's impressive. An American aircraft carrier strike group has been deployed to the disputed waters off of the South China Sea to begin what the U.S. Navy has dubbed routine operations, but that the Chinese government claims is aggressive positioning. As noted by USA Today, the deployment of the carrier, the USS Carl Vinson, comes amid the heightening of tensions and the new administration of the U.S. President Donald Trump, which has taken a hard line against China's construction of military bases on 7 artificial islands in the sea. Send China a clear signal that first, the island building stops, and second, your access to those islands is also not going to be allowed, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson reportedly said during his confirmation hearings last month. The Trump administration actions in the South China Sea are not necessarily new. Washington Post, Navy warships have deliberately sailed close to China occupied features 4 times since October of 2015, ignoring Beijing's sovereignty claims. Round of challenges to China's control of the sea so distressing to the Chinese government, however, are the words of Tillerson and those of White House Chief Steve Bannon. We're going to war in the South China Sea in 5 to 10 years, aren't we? Bannon asked rhetorically in a March 2016 interview, as reported by U.S. New York. That. And there's some video in this if you want to pull it up and view that for yourself. The article continues, says, combined the Trump administration actions and words, even those from before the administration was formed, have triggered both anxiety and outrage in China. The South China Morning Post reported recently that a commentary published on the website of China's People's Liberation Army had described the possibility of war between the two great powers as becoming a practical reality. However, the Chinese media's attempt to pin the blame on the U.S. fall flat for one key reason: that has voluntarily and roguishly chosen to militarize the disputed waters of the South China Sea and thus infringe on other nations' freedoms of navigation. Article in this episode is off of BizPac Review. Complaint prompts New Jersey school to apologize for having fried chicken on menu during Black History Month. Become a blood sport for leftists seeking imaginary victimhood. The superintendent of the Hopewell Valley Central High School in Pennington, New Jersey, has apologized after someone complained that a lunch menu had offered fried chicken to celebrate Black History Month. Also served other soul food staples such as cornbread and macaroni and cheese. It's unclear who complained. Thomas A. Smith apologized in a memo saying that the school did not intend to reinforce racial stereotypes, the NewJersey.com reported, or NJ.com. The decision to include these items without any context or explanation reinforces racial stereotypes and is not consistent with our district mission and efforts to improve cultural competency among our students and staff, Smith wrote. Smith said he had coordinated the menu with the school district food service vendor, it's called Pomptonian, to offer special selection of soul food to honor Black History Month. Pomptonian also apologized, even though they too said they did not mean to offend anyone. Was to do something to celebrate soul food, said Pomptonian Vice President Kathy Pina. Pomptonian deeply regrets that out of context this menu may have been perceived by individuals as insensitive or in poor taste. It's puzzling why the school apologized for being racially insensitive when a random sampling of soul food menus in restaurants owned by African Americans all featured fried chicken and other items listed in the high school racist menu. And there's a picture of a menu here that shows that they've got curry chicken, baked chicken, fried chicken, barbecued chicken. If fried chicken can't be served to celebrate Black History Month, maybe we shouldn't eat Chinese food to celebrate Chinese New Year or Mexican food to celebrate Cinco de Mayo. Besides, people of all races love fried chicken. Races too. Can't make this stuff up. If you like what I'm doing here, give it a thumbs up and share it on your social media so everybody gets to enjoy the entertainment. And subscribe if you haven't done that. And that way you'll stay informed. I think I've got one more episode for you today.